Howdy friends! So, what you're looking at right now is a game called Crucible. It's new, and the reason it caught my attention in the sea of free-to-play titles is because it's one of the many upcoming titles by Amazon Game Studios. Now this one's already been released, and I don't want this video to become a case study on Amazon as a corporation, but they stand out to me as a game publisher because Amazon tends to have a business model of, if it's worth doing, it's worth overdoing. They have a history of success in various seemingly unrelated fields. I mean, they started off as a website selling books, and now they own Amazon Web Services, Twitch, Amazon Prime TV, Amazon Music, Audible. I mean, the list goes on. They unquestionably have the funds to make ambitious games too. In fact, their upcoming MMORPG, New World, has been on my radar for quite some time. So naturally, I wanted to pop into Crucible and see just what this publisher is really about. Now, the best way I can explain this game would be a mix of Overwatch and Monster Hunter. The Overwatch aspect comes from the variety of heroes you can pick from. Currently, the game has 10. I haven't even played them all, but the ones I have were all very unique from one another. I took a special liking to the Bug character. Yes, its name is literally Bug, and it caught my attention when I saw its abilities include firing seed pods and crop dusting. I immediately thought I was looking at the healing class and got rather excited as healing is my favorite role in Overwatch, so I figured I'd try it in here. But I was mistaken in my assumption because Bug, like all the other hunters, is a damage dealer. All characters could be categorized as DPS, as there's no tank or healing classes present at this point. Though some heroes are quite a bit more tanky than others, they're all DPS. I also felt like a bit of a sucker because once I saw the seed pod ability, I quickly assumed I'd be getting to fulfill my druid class fantasy that I love so much from WoW. Not even close, but Bug is still my favorite hunter. But you can quickly see that the developers here have paid very close attention to detail on their characters, as each one feels pleasantly smooth and outright fun to play. I can't speak much to how balanced they are, but I wouldn't worry too much about that because the developers are constantly tweaking the characters in patches. Like in the few days it took me to make this video, Bug had 2 significant updates. I'm almost worried that any review I give the game now will be out of date within a week because the updates seem to be coming that quickly. But at least we know that means the developers are paying attention to the game and monitoring it quickly. Now, the Monster Hunter aspect of the game is very apparent visually. The landscape reminds me of Monster Hunter Worlds, and the combat has you fighting large monsters for essences, which, when enough are collected, your hero has access to upgrades you select before the match started. It might be safe to think of them as XP. The game mode I played the most was Heart of the Hives, which essentially puts you in a 4v4 match with the objective of killing these hive things, hence the Monster Hunter references. This is what really reminded me of the game. You have to deal a lot of damage as a team to these things while they're fighting back against you. And once you kill them, you take their hearts. The map has a variety of other monsters you can fight, as well as other hunters trying to capture these 3 hearts before you do. There is another game mode called Alpha Hunters, which I couldn't actually get into for 2 reasons. One, I kept getting failed to join errors. I'm not sure if this is because of something on my end or just server troubles that are common in new games. The other reason is because I've enjoyed Heart of the Hive so much, I kind of kept choosing that to play. It seems like the Summoner's Rift equivalent of this game. If you're familiar with League of Legends, that's kind of the default game mode. I get the impression that Heart of the Hives is the default game mode here, even though there are other options. Time will tell. But Alpha Hunters is the other one. It's essentially a battle royale where you and a single party member face off in an arena with 16 total people. But once the match is down to 3 players remaining, your alliance with your buddy is broken off, and you 2 have to fight each other for the last man standing. Sort of a Hunger Games type of alliance that does sound kind of fun to me. Updates to come if I can ever get in. Now, the game is not without its issues. While the characters and combat are very polished, the matchmaking seems to not be. This is something I've come to expect with any new game. However, considering this is Amazon Studios and it's using Amazon Web Services as its hosting service, I kind of assumed they would be familiar enough with their own services to allow for a smoother launch. However, once you get into the game, the matches run very smoothly, and I haven't had any disconnect issues, though I sometimes have suspected my enemies have. The problem is bad enough that I think it might be safe to say this game is still in early access, at least it feels like it is to me. However, since it is a free game that costs me nothing to play, I'm really not upset about this, and I'm sure they're going to iron out these issues in time. I'm still having a really good time with the game, and I highly recommend it with all bugs included. Overall, I think Crucible is very fun to play. Time will tell if it's a great game, but it certainly is a good game. The core concept is a lot of fun. In fact, even as I was writing this review, I was itching to get into another match and play it. The game is still very new, so let's hope Amazon Game Studios can keep the game entertaining and live up to the hype its parent company has set for it. Anyway, that's all the time I have for today. I appreciate your guys' time, and I will see you guys next time.